I don't take days off, do I? When my number is called, I don't take plays off, do I? I'ma always give you 20 and 10, no matter how much you wanna pretend that I ain't clutch with it. I don't do the load management, baby I can handle it. When the heat is on, I can manage it. I'm kinda like James Harden's career, I can walk whenever I feel. And that's facts. It's like the clock's ticking.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Others Receiving Votes podcast, sponsored by M-Glow. I'm your host, Loren Woods, a.k.a. Big Low. And man, been crazy. I ain't been on in a minute. Been super busy. Tons of stuff going on. A lot of exciting things. A lot of new projects. Love what I'm working on. Love being in the industry that I love. You know, working with kids, trying to help them get professional contracts, becoming professional basketball players. It's something it excites me. It's a passion, and also got, a lot of stuff going on, basketball academy wise, again, love helping the youth become better. The high school basketball season is about to start. Can't wait for that. A lot of stuff going on, but I've got a lot of questions over the last, I would say about 3-4 weeks, last month. It relates to a lot of, a lot of things that's going on in the industry, and, how things should be done, and, what should guys look out for? And, it's a lot of shady stuff going on. And you know what? I have a whole podcast planned about that. So I'm not going to speak on it too much right now, but I will say that, I want all of these guys to just do their research, and figure out exactly what it is that they're trying to do, and then do your research. And I have a story about that, that is, it's actually very close to home to me. I was having a conversation. I actually had dinner with my son. It was about a week ago, and we were talking, and, my son's 18 and, has come such a long way in basketball. Just finished his, his fourth year of high school, is going to do a year of prep school, which I think is a great idea. He's kind of a late bloomer. But, we were talking about, post-grad and prep school teams and stuff like that. And he was on this one team, and, another coach that really likes him and knows him, and knows how he plays, is on another team. So the coach asked him to join, and, he was making a decision, and just didn't really understand how to go about making the decision, or was kind of freaking out a little bit, as any 18-year-old would. Any 18-year-old would freak out, and, especially if they don't have like a plan. And I mean, hell, I was in my 30s about to make decisions and kind of freaking out a little bit. It never stops. The decisions get harder. And, to decide between two things, because, by that time, the things that you're deciding on are way more influential on what's going on. You got to make some serious decisions, and quick, and they better be the right decisions, because it can't be too many setbacks. I ain't got that much time left on this earth, man. I only got about, 25, 30 more years. And then, I'm probably going to be checking up out of here. But, anyway, so, I was just talking to my son about it, and I told him, I said, look, you know what you want to do. Well, I asked him, I said, do you know what you want to do? And he said, yes, this is what I want to do. I want to get a scholarship, college scholarship. I said, okay. So you start with there. You know what you want to do. Now you go to the basketball part of it. Like, are you having fun playing? Are you, around or in a system that is going to highlight, your talents? Are you, in a situation where, you feel comfortable and safe, and said that if something happens, like those people around you will for sure have your best interest, and basically knowing exactly what you want, and then going down the line, going down the list, doing the research first, know what you want, and then do the research after that. And then just, start making a pros and a cons list. And then you look at the list and you say, okay, based on this list that I made, this is the best decision. Then you make that decision and you live with it. And even if you do that, you might not make the correct decision. And I don't even know if it's a right or wrong decision at that point. It's just what you thought at that time was better than the other thing. So, and that was kind of like what we talked about. And I'm so proud of him actually now, because if this was 2 years ago, he really would have been freaking out, to make any decisions. And now actually he's starting to come into his own and be a man and make some decisions that are affecting his future and his immediate future. And who knows if it doesn't shape the rest of his life, who knows? But, what I can say again for all of the people out there and, the athletes that are trying to figure out, what are they going to do and what's some of the, what decisions should they make, or should I choose this school over this school, or should I play for this team as opposed to this team, or do all these things, just know exactly what you want first, then do the research, and then make a list, and then make a decision. It's very simple to say. But I know, sometimes it takes days to make a decision, sometimes weeks. Sometimes you can make a decision in a few hours because, something just feels right, or a few minutes. But, like I said, it's just something to just keep in mind. And again, I'm going to address this again, in the future for sure, because it's just so much on this topic. And I've been getting so many questions over the last few weeks about things that, people are just unsure about and just want to have a better way, or want to know if there is a better way. But at any rate, let's get to the show. All right, our next guest on the show is a guy who I was fortunate enough to play against. I was way past my prime. He was still in the middle of his prime. He still is in the middle of his prime right now. Could still get it, go out there and get your 30 or 40. But, also a guy who I don't even have a win against. I think I'm 0-3 against this guy. But like I said, when you're playing against somebody that can score 50, it's going to be a tough game. Night in and night out. But we're very fortunate to have this guy on the show. A lot of knowledge, plays professional basketball right now, has been playing for over a decade. So, definitely very experienced. So listen to what he got to say. Marcel Jones. Marcel, what's up, man?
Man, what's good, man? I'm glad to be here, man. When you say a decade, when I think about a decade, man, that's a long time, bro. Like, I'm not trying to say that to like brag or anything. It's just like when you say that, it's just, man, a decade goes by quick, bro.
Man, you should brag though. I mean, because you've been putting in some work, and that's like up for a long period of time. And what a lot of guys don't understand, and we're gonna talk about this later for sure, how hard it is to even play 1 year, let alone 10 plus.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
What I mean? Like it is not that easy, man. But you know what? We can get right into it. Just tell us a little bit about your basketball journey from the beginning throughout your professional career.
Cool. So yeah, I started playing probably when I was like 7, bro. My dad just put me into it. He just, like every father probably wants their oldest son to, try every sport, and just gave me a chance. So I just started doing that, and then ended up going to a pretty decent high school. I went to Mater Dei, which is in Orange County. We were nationally ranked, just on a high level. This normal summer circuit, just playing every summer, all summer. Then I ended up going to Oregon State. Ended up playing in the Pac-10. So I got some battles against your old school, Arizona. Lou Olson was the coach.
What was your record? What was your record?
So I got 2 wins. So I played them 8 times.
Really?
Yeah. So I've gotten twice.
Okay, so you're 2-6.
Yeah. So I beat them. I was just talking about this the other night because I was watching something on Netflix about college basketball, and when they stormed the court. So I only had one experience of storming the court, and it was against Arizona when we beat y'all y'all came to Corvallis, thought it was sweet, and y'all was ranked like top 5. Y'all was ranked like top 5. Y'all was walking in there, not talking to nobody, not shaking no hands. So we like, cool. We about to smack y'all. Y'all don't know what's going on. And then we beat y'all. And then all the Gill Coliseum came storming the court. And y'all had dropped in the rankings. And then the next time we played y'all kind of like looked at us, like showed us a little bit more respect. Y'all defensive stance was a little bit like
a little bit different.
Everything a little bit different.
Slapping the floor.
Right.
Every
y'all had to
defensive
take us serious.
Yep.
So my claim to fame was, we beat you. My only storm in the court was against Arizona, and y'all was ranked. I think y'all was like 3rd or something. Y'all was top 5, and so we beat you guys, and that was pretty cool. But so then, man, I did 4 years. Or actually, after my junior season, I averaged like 16 in the Pac-10, and some guy was like, bro, you should declare for the draft. When you average more than 15 in the Pac-10, I was like top 3 scoring. They were like, man, everybody does it. And all my friends was doing it. So I declared after my junior year, did all the workouts, bro. The drill. And then I came back. I was talking to the Clippers, and they were like, bro, if you come back for your senior season and you're pretty set up to average another 15 or 20 or whatever, and you guys do well, you could be the first round for sure. So, and I looked, and we had a center coming in. CJ, you play with CJ out in Bahrain.
Yep.
So, yeah, he was coming in, bro. He was transferring from Kansas, and they was like, yeah, we got this CJ kid. He's young. He's 7 feet. He could do everything. And I'm like, and all I thought that myself, my whole life, I was like, bro, I just need a center. If I can get a real center and just play with a center, I can make this thing work. And so he came, bro, and to say less, he played in the summertime, bro. He had some issues, and then he just never made it to the court like during the regular season. So we actually never played together in a regular season game. We had a couple preseason games, but he just something going on. So anyway, my senior season wasn't as good as we expected. We didn't even. This is the crazy part. So he didn't play, and we didn't recruit a backup center. So we had like a young kid who was like a little taller. So he ended up playing the center, and we had a bad senior season because, when you got a freshman center who's like a walk-on who really doesn't know how to play Pac-10 basketball, you're not going to be successful. So that was it. Anyway, so then, yeah, man, I've been playing professional since then. So it's been about 12 years since I've been in college. So I've just been around the world, been to probably more countries than I can imagine that I ever would have thought about. So, yeah, man, I've just been blessed.
Yeah, man, you are blessed for sure to be able to play, to play in the now the Pac-12, back when I played the Pac-10, and to be fortunate enough to beat Arizona. So that's a blessing for you that you can always tell that story to your grandkids. See, I can't tell stories like that about playing Oregon State because I'm undefeated against Oregon State, probably averaging maybe like 25. But I can't tell my grandkids like, yeah, I remember the one time I went to Corvallis, you know what I mean? But, that's neither here nor there.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm just messing with you, man. No, this is a tough place to play for sure. So after college, and like you said, you've been playing over a decade, traveling around the world. But after college, you went to New Zealand Basketball League, or I think you went before that. You did like a G League or like some minor league basketball in the States, which nowadays actually is much better. But 10 plus years ago wasn't the greatest situation. Not the talent is there. There's a lot of people that don't understand. There's some talented dudes that's in the CBA, ABA, now the G League. They're making it a little bit more professional. So, a lot of talented guys are going to the G League, but, it just wasn't the structure. It hadn't been there up until, the last few years. But international has always been there. So you went to New Zealand and played there. And what did you realize was the biggest difference or differences from when you landed in New Zealand and started playing as opposed to when you were playing in the States, leaving college and, minor league basketball, stuff like that?
Yeah, so real quick, don't play me. I didn't play no minor league basketball. So I played, ain't nothing wrong with minor league basketball. There is like you just said, there's a whole bunch of nice players that play. And for whatever reason, they want to stay local and close to home. But they're really good. I got out of college and I played for the Bulls for 5 months. And then I got cut. One of the last cuts, I went to training camp and all that, and then I got cut, and then they were like, well, go to our G League team, or D League, back then it was D League. They were like, go to the D League team. And so, it's so funny, bro, Nick Nurse was the coach. Nick Nurse, who just won with Toronto, he was my coach.
Bro, that's minor league, the G League is minor league basketball.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh.
It ain't the pros.
So the D League. So you're telling me the development league is a minor league?
It's not what we consider. Okay, we got NBA and then you play overseas, right?
Yeah.
And then that's and they got the professional leagues in Canada and stuff like that, and in Mexico, stuff like that. Pro, but when you're playing in the States and you're not in the league, everything under that is like minor league basketball.
Yeah, true.
So they ain't weak. Yeah, so it's like G League. My bad. I forgot about the Bulls. Yeah. That's on me. That's my bad. But we don't edit shit out. So I'm glad you fact checked me because that's what it is.
Yeah.
Bulls.
So then I did that. So then I went to the D League. Yeah. So what happened was I went to the D League and I was playing and I played like 2 games and they was like, yeah, we about to call you back up. So they never called me back up. Like I wasn't getting the vibe that they was about to call me back up. So then my agent called me and there was a deal in Germany. for like a whole lot of money. And at that point, I'm like, look, if I'm not in the league and I'm 22 and I'm feeling, I probably look back now. I probably should, you look back. We'll talk about this later, but I'm feeling myself. So I'm like, nah, I should be doing this and I should be doing that. And so I got the deal in Germany, and I told Nick Nurse, I said, look, bro, if you're not gonna play me, and the Bulls not about to call me back up, because back then it was like there was a lot of call down. So he had like 3 players from like the Celtics. So it wasn't a affiliate team. It was like any NBA team could send their players to I was in Iowa, the Iowa Energy. So it was like the dudes coming down from Boston, dudes was coming down from the Hornets. I'm like, yo, what is going on? And so and if they come on a Tuesday and we got a game Thursday, bro, it don't matter that I've been practicing all week. He's playing on that Thursday. You know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, nah, this is not for me. And so then I got the deal in Germany, and I was like, oh, I'm out. This kind of bread, I'm gone. And I, with no hesitation, I was like, you know what? If I'm not getting called up, I'm going to get paid. So I went and I got there, bro, and I played the game. And they came into the locker room, and they was like, yeah, we ain't got no money, but you guys can stay here for the rest of the year. Whoopty whoop. I'm thinking in my head, this got to be a joke. This is around Christmas. He's like, yeah, we ain't got no money for our sponsor. Yeah, we got it. Y'all can play though in the BBL. This is great for y'all name, y'all resume, but y'all can't get paid the rest of the year. So there was about five Americans, bro. When I tell you, all 5 of us were on the next flight. We all left. Like, not one of us stayed. They brought in like 2 different ones, and then they played with Germans the rest of the year and came in dead last. But anyway, that's besides the point. So we all left. So I went home, bro. So I'm at home. That's like December, January, February, March, bro. And like at this point, I'm thinking in my head like, bro, I went from playing with D Rose, Vinny Del Negro was the coach, Joakim Noah, Luol Deng, all the homies. I went from doing this to going to Germany for 2 weeks for them to tell us we ain't got no money. Sorry, something happened. Y'all got to go. So now I'm back at the crib. I ain't got no money. I'm just sitting there chilling, I'm going kind of talking to different agents because I'm like, I just couldn't believe what was going on. All my friends in the league, and like I say, I'm young, and like you just said, nobody tells you the rules. There's no rules to this shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's no rules to it. It's just it is what it is sometimes. So I'm like, man, I can't believe this. So then, by the grace, I got a call like, oh, New Zealand's just because New Zealand league starts in about March or April. They bring you over in March. So I got a call in March like, yo, you can go to New Zealand. I ain't never heard of New Zealand. I'm like, New Zealand? What the hell is that? Like, where is that? And they was like, oh, it's about Australia. And I'm like, oh, man, well, I heard of Australia. So I'm like, I'll go. And then my agent was like, but if you go, it's got to be a situation where you kill it. Like, you can't just go over there and feel bad for yourself and feel sorry for yourself. You got to go over there and really put it down because, like we all talk, like we're going to talk about, or we will talk about, let's talk about it now. You don't get many chances. There's nothing that's guaranteed. I just said it. This shit is not sweet. Ain't no rules to this. So it's not like it's not like just because you do this is going to happen. That's not how it works. Just because you put in work, just because you were killing in college, you're going to go overseas and you're going to get $150,000 and everything's going to be your way and it's going to be given to you on a silver platter and a coach is going to be checking on you. Like, that's not how it works. So you got to really work and grind and be professional. And that's what it takes. Like, as you mature in your career, in any career, basketball, I don't care what it is. If you're any career, once you mature in it, you understand that it's a certain level amount of work that you have to put in that's like a requirement, if that makes sense. So this is what my agent is telling me. He's like, yo, if you go over here, don't just, because like the lifestyle is amazing in New Zealand. He's like, if you go over there, don't just fall into the lifestyle of the country and just be like another guy. You're the import. They bring you in for a reason to do a job. So take it serious. So somebody gave me that game. So when I went over there, that's what I did, bro. First year I averaged like 29. I was like the player of the year. Anyway, so yeah. So but like to answer your question, what's the biggest difference between like the States and then coming and touching down in New Zealand? For me, I was lucky enough somebody was able to give me the game of, look, bro, don't go over there and mess around. So for me, I'm the type of person, you only got to tell me once. So I'm a quick learner. So I was like, look, I'm finna go over there. I had a chip on my shoulder anyway because I felt like I should be in the league. I felt like I should be playing. Like, this Germany thing fell through. So I was just down on my luck, but I turned it into motivation. So when I got there, the main differences for me was So there's only 2 Americans. But they spoke English, which was cool. So I got lucky. My first job, or actually Germany was my first job, and they didn't really speak English. But I had 5 Americans, so I can lean on them, right? But when I went to New Zealand, it was like me and another guy, and I was young, so I was 22, and he was like 30, 36. So he was an old head, and he was an experienced guy, and I was young, and I was. I was feeling myself. I was full of adrenaline. Like I had shit to prove. Like I was like, bro, I'm trying to I got moves to make. So we couldn't really lean on each other. We didn't really have too much in common. So it was like really we just show up to work and we did our job and we left. So it was a lot of downtime. Like a lot of downtime. I remember that was one of the major differences back home. Like back home, I could always get into something, or I could go work out when I wanted to, or I could just get a 5-on-5 game, or just work on my game, or just do something. But when I got overseas, it was more like it was just more structure and just more like a lot of downtime. Like it was just like, okay, practice is gonna be for 2 hours, and then the rest of the day you got nothing to do. So that was like a shock to my system. But obviously you work out and you figure out how to be professional and do all that. But yeah, nobody was babying me. That was the main thing that I knew. I kind of it was the difference. Like in college, are you going to class? Are you doing this? And this, like everybody asks you questions, and everything's on a silver platter, and they're helping you and all this. But when you're overseas, if you don't take care of your business, bro, it's like it's on you, and they'll cut you and send you home. So I had to learn that quickly. And luckily for me, I was able to do that, and I continue to kind of think that way. So
yeah, no, I mean, you know what? That's probably, and I know we ain't even got to the biggest piece of advice part of it yet. But I mean, if it's anything, we can stop it right here. And if everybody just especially all the young guys that either think they are good enough to go play overseas, or are definitely gonna have signed that contract, or they're going, or there right now, like a lot of the young guys, it is not. It's the biggest difference to me was like what you just said. You go over there and you're immediately an adult. When you're in college and you're 22 and you play for Oregon State or University of Arizona or Duke or St. John's or whatever, and you're 22 and you're still going to get treated like a baby. Like you said, you going to class, what's your grades like? Okay, yeah, like you're going to be here, you're giving this, you're giving that, all that. Man, when you go overseas, and immediately,
yes,
you're not doing your job, you're coming right back home. And the crazy thing about the Germany story, and that's not even uncommon, and I've heard that so many times, and I'm sure you've experienced even more crazy things, even more, some crazier or more as crazy as that. You go there, you there for 2-3 days, whatever, and play a game, and then some dude you ain't never seen before walk into the locker room and say, yeah, sorry guys, we don't got no money, but why don't y'all just play, and then you just use it for your resume. Is that cool? Like, bro, what? You owe me 10 G's. You talking about you know what I mean? So it's crazy, man, and that's one thing that I think a lot of people should really take note of and learn immediately. You're a professional. The moment you sign that contract, you get on a plane, you touch down. I mean, I've been in situations where they just drop the keys off and say, see you at practice. Like, where the hell is the practice gym? Or here's you're in the hotel right now, and don't nobody speak English nowhere, and you know what I mean, you be hungry.
Yeah, bro. And the thing is, because the reason why, and I started to tell some people this too, the reason why they do that is because they feel as if you're a professional. So it's like you're coming from America, you're in the American system. They look at the NBA, they look at the college, the NCAA, they look at these systems, and they're like, oh, well, your systems are better than our systems, so we should be learning from you. So you should be the actual professional of what you're doing. So no, we're not going to help you. No, we're not going to. And this is not every situation, but this is more times than not. And you rather be safe than sorry. You rather be on the professional side than thinking everything is sweet when niggas ain't really got your back. So it's like you always got to be taking care of your business, whether it's just being somewhere on time, whether it's just taking care of your body, whether it's just, whatever it is, you have to. that's on you. Like, you can't. There's no excuses. Because guess what? There's 30,000 niggas at home that will get it on time and that will be professional. And
30,000. I'm glad you switched that number up. It is tens of thousands.
Yeah, sorry, it's probably millions, nigga. You feel me? So it's like it's really, man. It's a balance. It's a fine line. Like, it's like you say. It's not easy. It's like I don't know the word. It's just you have to balance it, bro. Like, you have to immerse yourself in the culture, and yes, you have to be part of the team and want and be and all that, but you have to be focused and professional. Like, they don't like, you got to read the situation as well too, but you just I've always thought it's better to be professional. It's always better to be, for them to think of you as like, okay, he's a no business kind of person. He takes care of his business. He's this, he's that. Because if they think of you the other way, like you just said, bro, a career could be 1 year, half a season. Because if you get a bad, a bad rep, a bad name, if somebody says something bad about you, he's a goofy, he's joke, he's this and that, then next thing you know, he's late, he doesn't listen, he's blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, that's gonna travel faster than wildfire, bro, and you ain't gonna have no job, and you're gonna be sitting at home looking stupid, and then you're gonna be the fool. When all you had to do was, lock in a little bit, tighten up your bolts. Because back at home, you ain't got to. You could be a little loose with it, and they'll still like help you. But that's not how it is overseas. It's not sweet, bro. It's not.
Man,
sweet.
real talk, and I'm glad we even talked about that, because we talk about guys maybe playing a half a season as opposed to somebody like you who played. You still playing, and got over a decade in. What are some of the factors that go into having a successful career like yours? If you can pinpoint something, we all say hard work and be professional, all that. But what are some real factors that you key in on when you get up and you go to the gym and work out and stuff like that? And then also, what have you figured out to give you that kind of competitive edge? Because I mean, you got the you got the height, you got the talent. It's a ton of dudes walking around with height and talent, right? That's not getting paid. That didn't play 12 years like you did, and still are. You're gonna play many more years. But what have you figured out?
Yeah. So two things. So like, to answer your first question, for me, like personally, everybody's different, but for me, and what's been successful is like, a lot of motherfuckers don't know what they want to do. They say they know, but they don't know. They say, oh yeah, I want to do this, and I want to do that, and I want to be a professional basketball player. I want to be a professional doctor. I want to be a professional lawyer, or I want to be a lawyer. I want to do this. I want to do that. But they don't actually know what it takes to do that. They just say that shit out their mouth like it's just like you're a kid. But like it doesn't. When you get to a certain age, when you get out of college, when you get overseas, it's not cute to be a kid. Like you can't just say it. You got to actually put the work in. I know people say that, but sometimes people put the wrong work in. But that's a whole other point. My whole thing was, is this what you want? Like if this is what you want, if you actually want this shit, or do you just want to be cool, or do you just want to like be able to post it on the gram, or do you just want to be able to like, be like just have stories about it. Like if this is what you want to do, then now, now you have a plan. Now you have a goal, and now you can execute a plan to accomplish that. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was always, look, this is what I want to do. I feel like this is what I'm good at. This brings me joy. I enjoy this shit. Like, I'm 35 years old, bro, and I don't have. Every day I'm still like a kid in my mind as far as the basketball. Like, I love it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I just can't wait to play it. Like, a lot of people like think it is a grind, but a lot of people, they just complain about it. Bro, I don't complain because I actually like it. I still love it. You know what I'm saying? So, and I figured early, this is what I want. And so I also figured that if this is what I want, there's certain things that I have to do. Like, nobody's going to give it to me. There's like we just talked about, there's 50 million people trying to play basketball and there's 500 jobs. Nobody's going to give me anything. So if I want it, which I figured out early, so I did that. That's my first thing. I figured out what I wanted. I wanted to be I wanted to be the best professional basketball player that I've ever met. So any nigga that I've ever met, I wanted to be better than every nigga that I've met. So because I can't say that I'm better than LeBron. I've never met LeBron. I've never met these guys, so I can't say that I'm better than them. But for me, in my realm, I just wanted to be better than anybody I've ever played against or played with. So to do that, I had to work. There's certain things you have to do. So I just took that on, and I keep doing it to this day, and it just brings me so much joy to play basketball. But also, like, to be like, for me, people like just kind of have different things. But for me, I have a routine. Like for the way I've been able to succeed, bro, is I've just always figured that I have to work harder than the next person. And for some reason, it gets me out of bed. It just keeps me going. Like, so my routine has helped me like through the years. You know what I mean? So even if I'm fucking up, or even if I'm not even like even if I'm having a bad game, or I'm not like I'm in the weight room and I'm not making any gains like I want to make, or whatever it is, like I have a routine, and I know I got to continue to do this, because if I don't quit, I give myself a good chance. But if I quit, I give myself no chance. So so that was my routine. Those are my little quirks that I've always done. I've always like lifted weights. I've always done stuff that people don't think is cool, because I feel like that would give me my edge. They get like the competitive edge you talk about. Like that gives me my advantage. Like, okay, you don't want to do it, bro? Bet I'll do it. Because guess what? I want to play basketball, and I love it, and I want to be a good basketball player, and I want to be the best basketball player. So if you don't want to do it, damn sure I'm going to do it. And and that's like the little game that I used to play in my mind. Like, all right, I bet you this nigga ain't doing this. Or I bet you this. I know, everybody is different, but that's just how I got through, and that's how I continue to work. And for me, like, I feel like everybody should have some kind of like understanding of the goal that they want. Like they should know what they want. Like when you're young, okay, you don't know what you want, that's cool. But if you decide to step in this fire, you got to know like what you want. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to play, and if you want to continue to have a successful career, then there's certain things you got to do, bro. And I've just been lucky, and I have never been injured, so I've been pretty lucky in that sense too. So everything's a work in my favor, but yeah, so that's really all I got to say about that.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's great information that pretty much forget about basketball in any industry or anything that you're interested in life. That would be amazing information and amazing education to have, man. But you know what? We're at the end of the show right now, but I gotta ask you one last thing, because I know you'd already gave us about like 5-6 huge pieces, but if you could think about one thing that you would have to say, like the biggest piece of advice you would give to any kid who, signed his pro deal, about to get on that plane and go overseas, what would be the biggest piece of advice that you would give to that person?
I mean, there's two things. Obviously, the cliche, don't ever give up, because that's a real thing. Like, there's going to be no's. There's going to be more no's than yeses. So, like, don't be discouraged. But it goes back to, is this what you want? Like, the advice I would give is, like, know what you really want. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's how life is about. It's about, okay, I'm about to open this business, so I got a plan. There's a plan, a certain way I got to do things to open this business. I want to be a professional basketball player. I want to be the best basketball player. I want to have a great career. I want to do this. I want to make a lot of money. So then now you can formulate a plan, because shit's not just going to happen. Shit just don't fall out the sky. Nobody's that lucky. And if you are, that's 1 in a million. So the average motherfucker has to have a goal, a plan, and you have to work towards that. So you have to know what you want. So as far as working hard, of course, that comes with the territory. And and when you think you're working hard, work harder. But I would say to a young guy coming overseas, know what you want, bro. Like, if this is what you want, there's bullshit that you're gonna have to go through. There's certain things that you're not gonna like. There's certain things that's gonna not be the same as back home. Everything's not gonna be comfortable. But if you know what you want, then you can work through all that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just don't know what they want, bro. And they say they know, but I really challenge people to like really look themselves in the mirror, really take time. Like, you take time on Instagram, you take time on all this other shit. Take a little time to really think, like, look, okay, what do I really want? You know what I'm saying? And understand that whatever you figure out that you want, a goal that you want, there's going to be a lot of shit that you have to go through to get to that goal. But if that's what you want, then that's what you'll do. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's great advice. Great advice. And, I hope everybody who listens definitely take note. I hope you did take note or take mental notes or whatever, because it won't get any realer than that. And like I said, forget about basketball. That's anything you want to do in life. You take that advice And, you'd have a better chance of being successful than if you didn't take that advice.
Right.
and you didn't work hard and you didn't know exactly what you want to do. And then you had to be like what you said, that 1 in a million that just gets super lucky and has something fall in their lap. But man, other than that, man, we appreciate you being on the show. It was great. Hopefully we can get you back soon.
Yeah.
I know it's crazy right now out in that market, but I know for sure that you're going to get on and, you got thousands more points to score before you all said and done. I already know it.
For sure. I appreciate you tapping in, though, you know what I'm saying? Just keep it. And it's good that you're doing this for the young people, man. Like, there's not a lot of people that understand, that young people need help. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that you're doing that for the next generation. Because a lot of people don't give back. You feel me? They just too caught in their ways and too caught in their success. So, or they not success. So just, I encourage you to keep going, you know what I'm saying? And keep, trying to give back to the youth the best way you can. Because, like, that's our future. You feel me? That's what the new world got to stand on. So you just keep doing your thing too.
Yes, sir, man. I know what I want to do, and I'm not gonna give up.
Yeah.
All right, famo. We'll talk, baby.
All right, bet.
All right. Well, there you have it. And let me go back. Let me apologize to Marcel for saying that. He played minor league basketball, which he did because that's what the G League is, minor league basketball. But because I guess like even in the States, we look at certain leagues as like lower than other leagues. And I think the G League is like the top of the minor league basketball food chain now. I'm sure other leagues are going to pop up, but that's directly related to the NBA or affiliated with the NBA. So it gets a little bit more credibility and legitimacy. But I forgot. I knew Marcel played for the Bulls. I didn't know the extent of that. I didn't want to say like, yeah, you play for the Bulls. And then it was like 2 weeks, and then because some people get mad at that, man, I ain't played by the, you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm like, look, if you was even in a training camp for one day, that means you were at least close to one of the best basketball players in the world or, top 1,000 at least. And that ain't easy to do. But so Marcel played for the Bulls for like a season, then went down to the G League, then went over to Germany. Now, I want to get to this part because there's a lot of things that Marcel said, and he's a bona fide veteran and he's still playing now. And he said he's 35. He's been playing for 12 years plus. He's for sure going to play another 3 or 4 years because he's that good. He leaves the NBA, goes down to the G League, and then leaves the G League and goes overseas. And I'm sure he got offered a great amount of money. He gets there, he practices for a couple of days, plays a game, and then that next day, the manager or whoever president of the team comes and say, "Hey, listen, guys, y'all not gonna get paid. Sorry," and just shrugs his shoulders. And the funny thing is, like, that stuff happens all the time. Like, I have heard stories. I was just talking to this kid the other day that was telling me like he went to some country and he was there for like 3 or 4 months, like with a contract, and they were like, "Yeah, sorry. In your contract, it doesn't say that, we have to pay you. It says if we want to pay, something like that." And I was like, what? Well, who, and if you don't know, you don't know, and a lot of these kids, they just don't know, what could happen. So if you don't have somebody who's guiding you, you're going to end up in one of these situations. Hopefully not, but you might. And this is why I'm glad Marcel was talking about it, because it's something you have to be prepared for. Now, 2 things that I really, really like that he said, using his own failure or not wallowing in his own failure, and it happens to a lot of us. It's happened to me, and I played at the highest level, and I played for, almost 2 decades. And there were still times when I was like, like feeling sorry for myself, and I'm down on my luck, and I should be here making this amount of money, or I should be doing this, or I should be starting here or whatever. But what Marcel did was he used his failure as motivation. And everybody has failure. And that's something that anybody can do, especially in sports, because in sports, there's failure every day. There's not one person that goes out and plays sports at a high level and doesn't miss one shot or have one bad play or, miss one there's just in baseball, if you batting like 300, that's like you get a hit every 3 out of 10 times you go up to the plate. That's a great hitter. And that means the other 7 times you're failing and it's still great. You know what I mean? And even like, you're shooting 3-point shots. You could be a 50% 3-point shooter, and that's an amazing 3-point shooter, but that means half the time you're missing. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't look at it like that. Marcel, he had his failure, he was down on his luck, but he used that as motivation. And, it could have been something where if he would have, and like I said, There's tons of guys that are 6'8" that are walking around that can score 30. Tons. But I guarantee you that the other guys who aren't getting paid like Marcel and who didn't play 12 years didn't fight back. Didn't use that motivation to help them, help those failures to help them get back to the level that they're supposed to be at. So there's that. That's the first thing. The second thing is, like I said before, know exactly what you want. I mean, you've heard me say it before. Know what you want. And he said it, he figured it out. He knew exactly what he wanted. He figured out what he had to do, and then he nailed down a routine. And he said that's his routine. Like, what he does is what he does, period, from now until, probably when he stops playing. Like, that's it. And that will definitely keep you, at a high level, for sure, no matter what age you are. So it's great. I mean, I am so happy that he said all of the things that he said, because he speaks very matter-of-factly, as you probably heard. He's dropping real knowledge, and this is stuff that, like I said, in any industry, it can help you be successful. And then at the end, he gave it the Jimmy V. Don't ever give up, baby. Don't ever give up. Don't be discouraged, because there's going to be way more no's than yeses, and that is for sure. And don't give up. Anywho, if you know somebody who can benefit from this podcast, an athlete, that needs some motivation, that needs to hear it from real professionals actually telling you exactly what to do, giving you the blueprint, please share it. If you have any questions, always, you can hit me up on my personal IG at Mr. Loren Woods, MrLorenWoods, IG and Twitter, or hit us up on the MGLO IG, IMGLLO_US, IG and Twitter. We'll answer any questions. We'll talk about any topics. We just here to help. We're here to do everything we can to help. So y'all stay fortunate and be blessed.
I don't take days off, do I? When my number is called. I don't take plays off, do I? I'ma always give you 20 and 10. No matter how much you wanna pretend that I ain't clutch with it. I don't do the load management. Maybe I can handle it. When the heat is on, I can manage it. I'm kinda like James Harden's career. I can walk whenever I feel. And that's facts. It's like the clock's ticking down on our